The Washington Commanders offense through 9 weeks has been operating at a historic pace. They are first in EPA per play, rushing success rate, third in points per game, just a phenomenal unit at moving the ball down the field. Unfortunately though, at a lower rate than majority of teams, that's all they're doing. Among all 32, Washington ranks just 26th in percentage of red zone trips that end in a touchdown. Given this information, the math doesn't sound right. How can a team be so successful at putting points on the board, yet struggle so much in the area that produces them? The answer to that question is actually quite simple. Since 2000, the 2024 Commanders are getting into the red zone at a higher rate than anyone, and with more opportunity inherently comes more success. No one in the golden era of quarterbacking, that includes the likes of Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, has been more successful at moving the football than this unit. What separates Washington from all of them is how they move the football, to which we look at the passing game. It is no secret that Jayden Daniels' ability on the ground and downfield complement each other to a T by forcing the pass rush to stay disciplined, as well as keep eyes in the backfield at all times, which allows for those shot plays to open up more often, vice versa for his legs and the defense playing soft. Throughout the field, this is a fantastic recipe. The problem becomes when you get to the red zone, an area in which the field begins to shrink, and along with it, the versatility of this offense. With the threat of being beaten over the top gone, it allows the defense to play closer to the line of scrimmage, effectively killing two birds with one stone. This in turn forces Daniels to operate within the pocket on pure dropbacks against tighter windows, which results in rookie jitters. Outside of the red zone, Jayden Daniels has a scramble rate of 14%, which leads all quarterbacks. Inside of the red zone, that number drops 3.1% to 11. Without context, that may tell you he's throwing the ball more and running less, which would be incorrect. His pass attempt rate on dropbacks is identical in both areas. What did we say though? Defenders are closer to the line of scrimmage, which means less ground to cover for the defense and less grass for Jayden Daniels, which is why his sack rate goes from 5.4 to 9.1. Our missing 3% is directly resulting in negative plays. These negative plays that we hardly see from him anywhere else on the field results in his league-leading EPA per play outside the red zone to drop to 21st, as well as his success rate dropping by nearly 20%. Despite the fact, running less and getting sacked more isn't a shocker in the red zone. In fact, it's correlated, but when a player relies so heavily on that aspect of their game, it can take some time to get adjusted. A prime example of this is another Cliff Kingsbury disciple, Kyler Murray. During Kyler's rookie year, Arizona had the same struggles at finishing drives. Over the next 3 years with Cliff, they went from bottom 5 to consistently top half of the league. Skip ahead to this year by himself, and Kyler is a top 5 red zone quarterback in football. Point being, it will come. But for this year, it may limit the Commanders' ceiling. This forces Washington to rely heavily on their run game in the area, to which Jayden's credit, they get the lightest boxes in the league within 20 because of him. Despite this, with Jayden's legs post-snap limited within the equation, their ground game goes from best in the league by a wide margin to borderline middle of the pack. Let's get a vibe of this by going through some of their progressions in the area. Later in the game last week versus the Giants, the Commanders had a crucial 3rd and 4 nearing the 4th quarter with a chance to put the Giants away by making it a 3-score game. Terry and Luke McCaffrey are going to pick each other, problem being the Giants are in zone. With that in mind, against cover 2, Jayden wants Terry to sit down right behind the hook curl, because this linebacker is either going to have to take Zach Ertz or sit down on Terry, opening up one of them. Terry hesitates for a moment though, Jayden comes off of him, and from here the play is pretty much just dead. Realistically, Terry sits down here, Jayden hits him, and it's an easy first. They don't get it though because of execution. This isn't Jayden Daniels' fault, he did the right thing. It's a product of the team. Again, late in the 4th quarter, run the ball twice from the 7, only get 5, and are left with 2 big yards to gain for a 2-touchdown lead. Terry and 87 are going to run a mesh concept against man. If executed, it's a walk-in touchdown. Snap the ball, Jayden wants 87 leaking out of the mesh right away, but the pick only gets separation for Terry. There's help to his side, and everyone is blanketed from here on out. A play that had so much potential is just dead, and not because of Daniels. I want to backtrack a little to what I said there at the beginning. Ran the ball twice and got 7 yards. Another reason why this offense is struggling here is because of predictability. The Commanders have had 50 first down opportunities in the red zone. 41 of those plays have been designed runs. 4 have been extensions of it via the screen game. That is a 90% clip. You cannot get much more predictable than that. It gets worse though. On second down, that number only drops down to 73%. For comparison, the Bills on first down in the red zone run the ball at just a slightly higher rate. This lack of variety or faith in the passing game is what's putting them at such a disadvantage. Why is this a problem though? Why can't they just continue continue to win games in this manner. The issue standing in the way of Washington's quest for the NFC East is an Eagles team that since coming off bye have been the second best team in football at limiting explosive plays, meaning Washington is going to need to win in the red zone to beat them, which unfortunately for Washington plays directly into the Eagles and Fangio's hand. After they dink and dunk their way down the field, waiting for them is the fourth best red zone run defense in all of football, something the Commanders haven't had to deal with yet. The best red zone run defense they've played through 9 weeks was 11th ranked Chicago in a matchup they failed to score a touchdown in until the Hail Mary with time expiring. With their Week 10 matchup against a Pittsburgh defense that has been elite in all areas, this offense is going to get a huge test to see if they are truly ready for Philly in 2 of the next 5 weeks and more importantly, playoff football in general.